3 days ago, I arrived in Calgary for the first date of my tour with Rebel Media to have a discussion about freedom of speech and talk about my journalism in the UK. We had a great event, a lovely event, a real peaceful event. And as I come out after the event, what seemed a bit like a SWAT team pulled up and whisked me away. Arrested me, handcuffed me, took me into this building here, which is the immigration centre of Calgary, and then released me after a number of hours, released me with conditions that I cannot leave Calgary. So I was due to speak in Edmonton the next day. They made it specific that I wasn't allowed to go there, and I'm not allowed to go to Toronto for the final part of my tour. So the conditions all seemed about that. We've now tried for 48 hours with legal teams. Ezra's hired a law firm.
Yeah, we've got, in about 10 minutes, we're meeting with the immigration officials with arguably the top immigration lawyer in Canada, Michael Green, who used to be the chair of the immigration section for the Canadian Bar Association. He's a top gun, and our goal is simple, to revise that release condition to allow you to go to Toronto. Our argument is simple also. It's a baldly political censorship move. There is no logical or legal reason why you can't give a speech there. And hopefully we'll be able to convince them legally. And I know that they're under pressure from the public relations disaster this has created. If you remember when you and me sat down with the immigration cop at first, he brought that up unsolicited. So I think they're feeling the pressure. They look like they're having a two-tier policing. Last point, Tommy, we've had tens of thousands of people walk across the border from New York into Quebec at a place called Roxham Road. The police never handcuff anybody. The police never put conditions on anybody. In fact, they physically help people bring their baggage over the border. So this is two-tier policing. Hopefully we'll be able to iron that out in the next hour. Last point, I may have a role, because one of the things that we might have to do is to give a guarantee that you will go to Toronto and then go home. So I'm prepared to sign and to pay for a surety, a bond.
Ezra's got his checkbook.
I actually did bring my checkbook because I believe that you will do that and go. And I believe that you're not here for any shenanigans. You're here to give a public speech.
That's it. And there would have been no shenanigans. It would have been done quite quietly if they hadn't done this. And I said the same question. I said, if someone comes here, if I said tomorrow I want to claim asylum, you're not going to tell me I'm locked in a certain city. They're allowed to walk around the whole country, even if they're unlawfully here, they're allowed around the whole country. And the maddest thing is, I haven't been charged of anything, and they haven't mentioned deporting me. So it literally is just about controlling me. So hopefully we're going to go and meet these lawyers now, and hopefully we're coming to Toronto.
Yeah, I hope so.
So we're here with our legal team that's been hired to try and get around these conditions with Michael and Navi. So Michael, just what are we expecting today? What are we here for today?
So we're going to be meeting with the Canada Border Services Agency. They've kindly agreed to meet with us to review terms and conditions of your release. And we're trying to get a relaxation. We're hopefully they'll be agreeable to it so that you can go to your speaking event in Toronto on Sunday.
Did they give any comment, or do you have any view on how this looks around freedom of speech in Canada?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, the optics of it look bad. They look like they were trying to prevent you from speaking publicly. That may not have been their intention. It's the effect. So we're hoping that they'll walk it back.
And you think we'll have a decision off that soon, off them?
I think we'll find it soon. It may not be today. It might be tomorrow, but I think we'll have a decision soon.
And if they don't agree to relax the conditions, is there another process? Can we go through to court?
Yeah, so we've already put them on notice that if they don't agree, then we want to have an expedited hearing to determine, to make our submissions why they should relax your conditions.
Well, I'm incredibly grateful that you took this on such short notice as well, so thank you. So, I have my passport back. I'm on my way to Toronto, which is a massive win, which wouldn't have happened without your support and without the lawyers. Okay, it just wouldn't have happened. I wasn't even allowed to go home. I'm now going to travel to Toronto, give my speech, exercise my free speech in the best way possible at an event. You can still get tickets to that. It's at tommytour.ca. It's on Sunday, and I've had my my passport returned. Ezra, what's your thoughts?
Tommy, this is amazing. I mean, David and Goliath doesn't even capture it. Not only are you free to go and give a speech in Toronto, but there's no deportation order. There's no ban. You are leaving as a welcome and honored guest. We're delighted to have you. And every single Canadian who saw that arrest the other day knows that has never happened before. Trudeau has never arrested, let alone sent 8 cops to arrest someone for immigration reasons. He's never banned them from traveling. It was two-tier policing. And I want to thank our super lawyers for fighting for freedom. I haven't got their legal bill yet. If you want to help me, go to savetommy.com. but all credit to the lawyers. And I want to tell you, sometimes you think you can't win when you fight the government.
I didn't think we could win.
But you got to try. And today's a great victory day. Congrats, Tommy.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. And Michael, thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm glad that you had a positive outcome. It was a great outcome.
I wasn't expecting that outcome either, if I'm honest. I wasn't expecting it. And
Yes.
I know that behind the scenes you were looking at every other avenue of what we could legally do, if not.
Yeah, no, we were looking at the other options, and frankly, this was the best option and the one we hoped for. And luckily, they were very reasonable about it. I got to hats off to them. They did not have to do this, and I'm just glad they did.
So am I. And I don't think without your support, Navi, as well, thank you.
Thank you so much. We're glad at the positive outcome, and looking forward to that event on Sunday.
Without lawyers, honestly, without lawyers, I'd be stuck in Calgary. It's my daughter's birthday next week, which is what I was concerned about. I didn't want to say it publicly. It's my daughter's birthday. I weren't even allowed to go home. So I'm not just allowed to go do my tour. I've got my passport back, okay? Free to go. So I'll be going to Toronto. I'm excited. I'm shocked as well. And it is a David versus Goliath, and it shows, for me, it proves that what's happened this week shouldn't have happened. I should have been free to go to Edmonton, I should have been free to travel this country, I should have been free to give my discussions and my talks, and now I'm coming to Toronto, so make sure you're there, tommytour.ca, all right?
Let me make a final thank you to Justin Trudeau, because if he hadn't arrested Tommy, this whole thing wouldn't have blown up. 30 million people saw the video of that arrest, and he turned this into a free speech crisis, and we won. If he had just left you alone, Tommy, you would have done your tour and gone home, and it wouldn't have been a big deal. Justin Trudeau once again shot himself in the foot. You helped increase freedom for Canadians. I just wanted to say that.
Do you know what I'll say as well? Do you know those officers couldn't have been nicer the entire time? From
true.
start to finish, yeah?
It's true.
So even when I was arrested and got to a police station, they could not have been nicer. So they didn't want to do it. It was very clear they did not want to carry out that action. They were forced to. So yeah, I'm on the way to Toronto, man, and I'm buzzing. See you later.